What's going on, guys? Welcome back to BlackTideTV. In today's supply drop opening, I have 42 supply drops for you in the Blitzkrieg collection. I guess Blitzkrieg and any further collections will just be added directly into the supply drop loot. But I do have 2 Blitzkrieg bribes, so I guess that guarantees 3 items in the Blitzkrieg loot, and I also have 2 epic weapon bribes from a special contract that I've been carrying for a very long time. It's been a while since I've been on Call of Duty World War II, but I asked you guys on Twitter recently if you wanted to see a supply drop opening before I got into some opinion review stuff, and you guys all wanted to see the supply drop opening. So I've been grinding the last couple days. I've got 24 regular supply drops, 14 rare supply drops, and then of course those 4 bribes that I mentioned before. The bribes will open last because I believe they are duplicate protected. So we're going to start with the 24 regular supply drops. At this point, it really doesn't matter if I'm getting social score because there's no way that I'm ever going to get to max social score rank. It's just so hard. They have been introducing a lot of really neat ways to get more social score. There's been a lot of special contracts, daily contracts, where you go and watch content in the theater and you get 250 social score. They've also been trying to get people to commend each other more. There's a lot of commend 10 fellow soldier kind of events, or I guess contracts. We're getting a lot of duplicates here. I like how they've added that you can see how many pieces of the collection you have. That's pretty neat. So far, I haven't seen any of the, I guess US Tanker goggles might be the new collection. I don't think the new collection has like a special card that you can tell if it's part of Blitzkrieg or not. So, I'm not really sure how the Blitzkrieg things work. Hopefully I'm getting Blitzkrieg items because there's like 6 new weapons in the game and they're all incredibly expensive. That's a Blitzkrieg. Okay. So there is a Blitzkrieg color scheme. So the other items I was getting were just regular items, I suppose. Merker 2, I thought I had that one. That must be the only one that I don't have of the Panzer. There's another epic. Illuminati. Oh, that's a Volk Sturmgewehr that we don't already have. That's pretty cool. I'm not a big fan of the Volk now that they've nerfed it a little bit, but I'll definitely check it out. Why not? Watching You, Accolade, those are all new. Reticles, of course, are going to be new because those were recently added. They added a ton of reticles, a ton of like weapon charms, and all kinds of things, weapon camouflages, which I've only done one supply drop opening since they've added in all of these extra items, so stuff like that. The submachine gun camouflage I'm going to see a lot more of in my supply drops. I'm just hoping to get some items out of those new weapons because they are incredibly expensive. For example, the Itra Burst. The first item alone, the epic item alone, is like 15,000 like armory credits. It's ridiculous how expensive it is to get into any of those new weapons. And those new weapons are pretty powerful. A lot of them are, they're kind of duplicates of other weapons in the game. Like I've found the Sterling submachine gun is very similar to the Waffe, or it's like a crossbreed of the Waffe and the Sten, something like that. A lot of the weapons they've been adding in are very similar to weapons that you can already use. Like the Type 5, I think it's called, is basically the Japanese M1 Garand. So, do I really want that really badly? Not quite, because the M1 Garand isn't even that great anymore. Graveyard Shift. Had a little trouble loading in what that card was even looking like. 3 common items, that's not very great. Wood paneled launcher camouflage. 3 more commons. Oh, that's a rare actually. C-type bomber. Cancer calling card. Great. Oh, I think that's like not Cancer as in cancer, but it's more like Cancer as in like Capricorn and all of those star signs. I think that's what that means. Anatomical emblem. So there are only 3 or 4 collections that are part of that Blitzkrieg. Those are all weapons, I believe. I think the rest of the items, even the new weapons, were added into Operation whatever it's called, like the basic items. So there are basic items that I want to get as well as just the Blitzkrieg items. Moving on to our rare supply drops. No candy calling card. Okay. We've got Heroic, Royal Tank Corps 2. Now, Heroic items are not part of collections, but could be cool. There's an Epic item. That's what I like to see, Royal Tank Corps Epic. I'm at 3 out of 6 in one of those Blitzkrieg things already. I'm just hoping it's the right one. I want that Itra Burst. It is incredibly overpowered. It's like the M16 of World War II, apparently. So, the Blade MG15, that might be a new one. I'm not entirely sure. So thus far, I don't think I've seen the helmet, which is the item from the Itra Burst collection, which is like 15,000. I'm hoping to get that one. If not, I'm hoping to get every other item from Blitzkrieg so I can purchase the helmet, because that's the weapon I want. Seeing a lot of Blitzkrieg items, which I'm happy about. 1 out of 6. This one right here, the 1 out of 6, is probably the Itra Burst. Just because it's the one I want. It's usually how it works for me. Ram, we're at 4 out of 6 for one of them, which is pretty cool. Weapon Charm. I'm not a big Weapon Charm person. I've never been. From the time they introduced them in Infinite Warfare, didn't really care for the keychains. They're kind of just filler, really. Ricochet, we're at 1 out of 8 for that one. There's a collection that has 8 items. That might be the Itra Burst. Just make it incredibly difficult to unlock. I've noticed the supply drops are doing this weird thing where they're not quite loading in. I've seen it on other people's openings as well. Resistance Fedora, just what I've always wanted. I've noticed it on other people's supply drop openings as well, where there's just like 3 items floating. There's no cards. The items are just floating in the air above the supply drop. It's kind of strange looking. Y, emote gesture, epic, batter up, weapon charm. That's a new thing, I believe, because it's very much has to do with the new melee weapon, which is a bat. So those are all of our regular supply drops, and now we have 2 epic weapon bribes and 2 Blitzkrieg bribes. I'm going to do the epic weapon bribes first, because if these are all duplicate protected, which I'm not even guaranteeing that they are, I feel like the Blitzkrieg items are something that I want more. So if I'm getting guaranteed items out of Epic, I don't know. I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to do it like this. This is the way I'm going to do it. Because I have no idea. We've got a Heroic, actually. Son of Mars 2 MP40. Cool. Epic weapon bribe. I'll take a Heroic for it. And another Heroic. Nobel 2, that's the Geffair that I don't already have. I think I have all of the Geffair 43s now. Not that I use the weapon too much, but I'm more of a M1 Carbine fan. And now we've got the 2 Blitzkrieg bribes to round us off. And it only guarantees you 1 Blitzkrieg item. That's really unfortunate. Cobalt Lens Sight Reticle. I was really hoping for 3 Blitzkrieg items, but Epic MVP Weapon Charm, 2 out of 7. I have a feeling that's going to be the collection that I need. So I've got 15,000 armory credits. Let's see what we've got here. Itra Burst is at 2 out of 8. I knew this was going to happen. 12,000. It's not 15,000. It's only 12,000. It's okay, guys. So that's 20,000, more like 25,000. 27,000, like around 30,000 more, and I can buy the Itra Burst. Seems fair. Baseball bat. We did do 42 supply drops, and I didn't get any of the other variants of these weapons, if there are other variants. So, I could buy the baseball bat, which I'm absolutely not interested in whatsoever. Of course, that's the one that they gave me all of the items for. Sterling is way too expensive still, and again, this is more of a ripoff of the WWII. It's very similar as far as I can tell, and then this is just an outfit. Special, we're already done this. I completed all of those collections during that Irish event, the St. Paddy's Day thing, which was great, but here in Operation Overlord, we'll take a look, because they added a bunch of new weapons here as well. Rolling Thunder, like that's still very expensive, and that's just an MG42 variant. I'm looking for the newer weapons. That's a sniper rifle, defense sapper, flying ace. This is the M5, Type 5. So this is the Japanese M1 Garand, more or less, and it's incredibly expensive as well. I might be able to purchase that one. Like, I'll have just enough to get this. I'm only at 2 out of 7, and again, it's just an M1 Garand. The M2 carbine, which I was entirely expecting a select fire attachment for the M1 carbine, and not just adding in the M2 carbine as well, which is, it's a fully automatic M1A1. That's all it is. So that's going to be incredibly expensive as well. That's even going to be more expensive than buying the Type 5. And I think there was another, oh yes, the sniper rifle. The Arisaka is, I don't have a single item out of that, of course. So we didn't really do too well on those 42 supply drops. I was grinding for a couple days trying to get up some supply drops because I hadn't been playing this game too often. And this is only adding fuel to the fire for an upcoming opinion video that I have. But because I want to at least show off one of the new weapons in that opinion video, I'm going to pick up this Type 5. So there's the Type 5 collection complete. I'm going to see if it's any different from the M1 Garand. Historically, it's really similar. But I should be spending my armory credits towards these items because this is limited time only. This is 14 days remaining. I don't know if I'll be playing this game enough in the next 14 days to get enough supply drops and to complete these collections. And we all know that I don't purchase COD points, so I really should be trying to work towards these because it's like the only way to get these weapons currently. They haven't added in any contracts to get these weapons. If they do, I'll let you guys know and I'll be doing them myself. But 12,000 for a hat so that you can get this gun. I like how they add the M16. This is essentially the M16 into Call of Duty World War II and then lock it behind so many armory credits that it's like, oh, you want the best weapon in the game? Well, you're going to have to give us all of your money. But that's going to conclude our supply drop opening today. We did really quite poorly. I'll take a look in here at my soldier, see what we got for new weapons. I don't think there was anything too special. I remember there was a new MP40, the Son of Mars 2. So we'll check that out. Very shiny, kind of, oh, I've got chrome camouflage on it, that's why. It's not bad. I'm more of a fan of the base MP40 myself. What else did we have? I'll just replace this weapon for now. Rifle, we got the new Gefähr 43, the Nobel 2, which is the heroic variant of that one, which I do like. That's very nice. If only I used the Gefähr more often. And it's got the nice iron sights as well. The Gefähr is really an underappreciated weapon. We got a new Volkssturmgewehr. The only one I'm missing is the Goat, which is like the best one, but Defiance is the one that a lot of people have. It's probably the most common to get out of supply drops. So there you have the Defiance. And then, of course, we got the new Type 5, which we'll take a look at last. MG15, we got the Blade, which is not new. I thought this was new, but the AK is the new one. The Blade is the one with the big egg-shaped iron sight. So that's the Blade. And it's just the first variant, so that's not great. And as far as any other weapons go, we just had the Type 5. So we'll take a look at this Type 5 show of force. There are variants of these weapons as well, including base variants. So I'm expecting that you can get these base variants from completing collections. It says Blitzkrieg right there, which has me worried that you might have to get it from a supply drop. But I don't know, usually the rares, like for example, the rare Volkssturmgewehr, it was a collection, I believe, that you had to, or not a collection, but a contract, that if you complete the contract, you get this weapon. So, and this, the Gefähr 43, it says Winter Siege, but you had to complete a contract to get that. So, hopefully there are contracts for these new weapons that they've added in, because a lot of people won't get to experience them. Chivalry's Dead looks pretty cool, but we got the Show of Force, so we'll take a look at this thing. I do like the iron sights on it. It's very much like an M1 Garand. A little shorter. Got like the longest inspect animation of all time. It kicks a lot like the M1 Garand. I might do a weapon review on this if you guys are interested in that, but Looks like it's a three-shot kill. We'll have to take a look at this thing in game. I'll probably have some gameplay with it while I'm talking about the new added weapons in an upcoming video. But until then, guys, that is going to conclude the supply drop opening today. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you got in your supply drop openings in the comment section down below. Do you have any of these new weapons? Do you like any of the new weapons? Like Itra Burst, it's pretty overpowered from what I've seen. Type 5 looks a lot like the M1 Garand. The Sterling doesn't look too special. Some of the weapons get me excited, some of them don't. But I'd love to hear your guys' opinion in the comment section. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next video.